When we find ourselves on our own individual paths of healing, there are some things that we could manage pretty quickly and pretty easily, but there are some long-term nagging things that just don't seem to go away. There are issues that are very deep, they're very ensconced, and we're taught to just be gentle, watch them come, watch them go, meditate. They gradually dissipate. Meditate, like washing a cloth, slowly, it gets cleaned. And in my life, I thought, oh my God, this got to be a faster way. I might get healed in 30 years if I do this. I want something else. This hurts. The pain happened very quickly. How come it has to stay there forever? Anyway, I've got an idea, and I'm going to answer the question or respond to a comment that someone made on one of my other videos. And my name is Dan Paulson. Welcome to Just One Truth. I'm going to go ahead and share this here. It is, I'm going to tell you right up front, it's very deep psychology, and I'm not a psychologist. I will not recommend this to anybody unless, no, I won't recommend this to anybody. This is what I did. This is what I found in the old ancient texts. This is what they were doing. We're doing something different today, but we're still doing the same thing. We're being very gentle and careful, and they were being super aggressive with it. And that's at layer 3. That's what's happening. This very, what would be called the warrior's path. It's not about killing other people. It's about destroying what is inside of you. And it's a difficult path. But there's a part where we're moving along, and I'm just going to tell my story. First of all, let me read his comment here. I know these teachings are true and right, but my difficulties come when trying to maintain the practice of them 24/7. So far, I've been trying to distract myself as soon as negative or victim thoughts start. This is fairly easy during the wakeful alert hours, but when relaxing and composing myself to sleep, I have had great difficulties in controlling my thoughts. It seems to me that the effort of distraction requires such consciousness that I am then not relaxed enough to fall asleep, and conversely, when I relax, I lose the ability to steer my thoughts. He also, in his comment, referred to himself as a practical realist and has a difficult time with the idea of just sugarcoating the past. And you know what? He's right. Saying, oh, it's okay is, whew. Okay, let's go right to the chase. The setup is elsewhere in videos, so for his sake and for the sake of people who are looking for an answer here, let's just do this. You have to be a certain distance along already here. Okay, I will tell you what happened to me. This is how it works. I cannot tell you what to do or anything like that. Everything happens inside of somebody else's head. So the only way I can teach people what I think the tools are is to tell them what I found and what I did and how it affected me. Because people have to take that and say, I'm going to try that on myself or not. It is a very personal inner thing. It can only be that way. That's the warrior's path. It is not following somebody. It is going inside. It's going to okay. I'm growing up. I have bad experiences. There's a point in time I'm putting that stuff away and I'm storing things away. Life goes on. I eventually get to this point where we are today. You realize all of that and you're like, okay, yeah, I got that. I came from a bad place. I'm out of that. I forgive whoever hurt me. All of those things. I got it. All right. I'm okay. Then you go and live your life and these things keep emerging and you're like, I'm okay. I forgave. I'm okay. What's going on? And it keeps coming and you're like, why does that happen? Okay. So like the pain, if something happens and it gets stored away, that it will continue to reside in that way until it is addressed. It continues to live under those terms. Same as you as a little kid. Same as me as a little kid. This characteristic that I've talked about before, that everybody knows what this is. Different teachers use it, different terms. I don't know what it is. It's that capacity to in your imagination, view yourself and your life and the world from like an elevated position. You're not there, but it's elevated there. Everybody can get there. Practice that and get really good at that. That is who your Buddha is. That is who your Christ is. That is who needs to be in charge. That's who's going to be leading the way. Okay, that person has to be really established. You're already there. I know that because of the way you said what you did. We're at a point where it's like, okay, I'm done with that. The emotions, I can deal with it. Bring it on. What do I do? All right, Here's how to interact with it. We have to go into our imagination again. This is what I did. I never got acknowledged as a little kid. So I in my mind, I pretend I'm an adult, coming up on my little self, my young self, sitting in the woods crying, or something. And I'm like, you address that person. There's a piece of you that is a memory that didn't get addressed. There's a piece of me that didn't get addressed. I can tell if it's okay or not by walking up to, in my imagination, that little kid and saying, hey, how are you? What's going on? What's your name? Danny. What are you doing out here in the woods? No, nobody likes me. I'm stupid. I'm worthless. My brother killed himself. I get beat. I don't know what to do. And at some point, that little kid is still there. You have moved on and you have put things to rest, but that little kid is still there. You have to go back and heal that little kid. So what I did is I took that little kid on my trip. I went back and made friends with them and said, come with me. Let me show you some things. And I showed that little kid what I was able to see. Here, look at, this is a big chain. You're not an individual. You're in a big mass of people. You just showed up. Don't be a victim. Rise above it. Look and see what's there. You can move out of this. I would show that kid the things. And the way you can tell if it's okay or not is the emotions. If you walk up to that little kid and say, talk to me, and that little kid talks to you, and be that, let yourself talk about what you heard about and how does it make you feel. If it makes you feel hurt, or like with me, I teared up. I was like, oh yeah, this is it right here. I'm hurt. I gotta deal with this. I gotta make friends with this right here. I gotta make this hurt go away. I gotta make that little kid not hurt anymore. I have to use my adult self to heal the past part of my little self. It's really just a memory thing is really all that's going on, but it's a mechanism and a tool that allows us to interact with that in a way that provides a more rapid, it's more aggressive. It's faster. It really goes and addresses that. Instead of letting that little kid slowly get over it, you're going back and taking that little kid and saying, come on, let me educate you. Let me show you what's going on. And boy, did that, for me, it opened things up. It was like dealing with the pain things, though, too. You're looking at the shame and saying, I got molested. I got to deal with that stuff. And you learn to deal with that and you get over it and you go, okay, I'm okay. We're just doing the same thing with that part of us. You got to go make that part okay. You see it by the way it makes you feel. It acts out. It's creeping up on you. It's nagging at you. It's letting you know, hey, I'm here. I'm here. Go look at it. I'm almost in my own head. I've got this metaphoric idea that there's this part of me that's wandering in through the caves, through the dungeon, through my hell, through my temples, through whatever you want to call those things. And it's yours. It's got stuff in there. And you need to know what that stuff is. Not just what it looks like or feels like, but the inside, the outside, the top, the bottom. The more that you see what is there in all of its ways, the more it ceases to be anything with power. Turning away from it gives it power, or keeps it at least at its strength. It can be, anyway. Anybody else? This is not a good thing to do unless you are already at a point where you have made those current issues. If you are sitting there today going, my God, I am hurt and I hate this person, don't do this. You're not ready. If, however, you're like, okay, I've done this, I've gone far enough along to where I have faced all of those hurtful things. Those are really hurtful things to face. If you have faced those and you're like, okay, there's still something nagging, that's where this comes into play. But this is also how you engage with all of your memories. This is how you make friends with everything inside of you. You go talk to it, you deal with it, you show it reality. You show it what it didn't know at the time it got stored. Update it. That's all you're doing is updating it. Be careful. Post questions or comments. And again, I'm not recommending anybody do this. This is a personal choice. I would never do what somebody asked me to do. I would do what I thought I needed to do. And nobody's going to tell me anything different. So that's how I handle this. I'm not telling anybody anything, and I won't. If you're looking for answers, you're going to desperately grab something like this and say, get out of my way. I think perhaps we get to a point sometime where, or at least hopefully, where you realize that, the emotions are there for a reason. They're over the top. You don't let the emotions drive the boat. In the physical world, you feel fear, probably something after you, run. The spiritual world, you approach something, you feel fear. That's the one you go after. You learn to surf the emotions. Don't let them take charge. Learn that they're guiding you. Recognize what they are and don't let them have the driver's seat. But use them. You need to, if you don't feel hurt, okay, you can let that go. If you feel hurt, that's the one. Use the emotions. They're important. Just don't let them dictate what you do. Anyway, okay, hope this was helpful. It's just my ideas. It's what I did. And it made a difference. What you do is your choice. Love one another. I'll see you in the next video.